Hello everyone, and welcome to Bevan's Bricks. I decided to go ahead and try and go live tonight. I had originally planned to go live last night, but didn't get a chance to. What I'm actually working on, I finished all the lighting, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. But I kind of wanted to show a few things before I move on and start working on other floors. One of those things is I wanted you to be able to see how much of a mess the lighting can actually get. It does look bad, but it's really not as bad as you think it is. It's just, for me, when I'm doing my mocks, I try to keep all the lighting up and out of visible space. So that's what actually has happened here. All the wire is up here on the top space, and it's just, it looks horrible, but from a minifig eye view, it looks spectacular. And hey, how you doing, Aaron DeLilo, Isaac Reyes, Brick, Sable Malamute, Brick Sargent. Hello. How you guys all doing? I'm so glad to see you. John Garrett, the Lego Fire. Hello, my friend, and hello to New Jersey. But anyway, like I said, to me it looks fine, and I just wanted to show you guys, though, give you a quick kind of minifig eye view. So what I did is I made this a little hall, so there's just basic detail inside the building. I did not want to get carried away. So I just put like a little party hall over on this side, and then as you can see, you can kind of look through. You can see the elevator, and then over there, down in this area where you see my finger, is the counter where people check in to get their rooms. And just to try and give you a look over here as well, I did put the Pac-Man and I did put the ghost on the outside wall, and how I managed to hide that. And I do want to show you this as well, is I just use a really simple technique. Now, what these are, these wall panels here, these are the 1x5x6, and they stack really well. And if you put them inside and out, it gives you a really decorative looking pattern. So when you're looking at the building from the outside in, number one, it's hiding the back side of these little murals I put into the wall. But number two, it gives the outside appearance a much more decorative look. So now when you're looking in from the outside as a minifig would, you can see that it doesn't have all that ugliness, I guess would be a good way to put it. Let me get this camera back up here though. But now, and thank you so much, Aaron. And thank you, Brick Sargent. Kevin Waslin, how you doing, my friend? Aussie Adams, hello. And happy belated birthday to you, Lego Rhapsody. He says, I also started school. I'm in 8th grade now, and I got 7 sets for my birthday. I'm building the Bad Batch shuttle right now. That looks like a really fun build. And again, happy belated birthday to you, buddy. Anyway, though, what my goal tonight is, and let me get that camera back just a little bit more, is I want to start trying to figure out. And something else I do want to point out real quick, because one of my members asked me this right before I went live. All this does come to one plug. Let me show you. One plug turns this entire display off. It's just this one plug. And what I did is I started in one corner, ran the wires, and this is where it ends. Now, I do have a second feed wire here, just to point out. And the reason I put the second feed wire in is because on this particular wire here, I'm already at 0.5 amp. And if you've watched any of my other videos in regards to lighting, I try to stay on the 2.0 USB ports. You want to stay at 0.5 amp or less. So I don't want to have any more load on any of that particular portion of the building. And that's why I ran a new circuit. But now what we're going to do is we're going to start trying to figure out how to put, because I got all those awesome brick loot sets. And now I got to start trying to figure out how I'm going to, number one, do the false elevator shaft. Number two, I got to drill a hole through the base plate, which I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that in just a minute. But number three, I got to start trying to fish that through and figure out how those brick loot sets are going to actually kind of configure inside of each floor. So tonight's going to be more of a build stream than it is a lighting stream. And I'm not sure which truck you're talking about. I know I've seen a couple different sets, and yes, they are cool. You're talking about the 1950s looking truck. I'd have to check it out again. And Oliver M, hey, how you doing? He says, finally back from camp. I have a lot of YouTube videos to catch up on, so probably won't be here for long, and that's no problem, Oliver. Anyway, though, because I really, I need this here for a minute. I need it here just so I can set this on here, because this is going to be the next floor, and once I figure out exactly how I'm doing this floor, I'm going to be able to run around and just start doing every floor this way. But my main concern was I want to get a hole right here to run my cable through. So let me get a drill bit. And I'm going to explain a few different things. Give me 1 second. There it is. I get asked a lot in regards to how, or do I should say, I use off-brand Lego. And typically, no, I don't. But what I do always try to tell people is that, like, especially in my very tall buildings like this, these base plates, the base plates are off-brand. And the reason that I always told everybody that I use off-brand is because if this was an official Lego part, I will not drill a hole through it. I have it's just me, it's my own issues, but I personally will not alter, cut, do anything to an official Lego piece. But when I'm using off-brand parts, I have no problem at all drilling holes, cutting in them and stuff like that. So, as I'm often asked, why would I use off-brand Lego? That is precisely what I use it for. I use off-brand Lego, so when I get to stuff like this, I can quite easily drill a hole in it so I can do some modifications. And no, nobody's ever too late. The first thing I'm going to want to do, though, I already know where I want this hole. I'm going to put it right here. So now I'm going to get this huge build off my table space so we can just function and focus on this particular portion of the building. So let me set this to the side. And I'm going to unplug the power from this guy, because this has got to get out of the way now. And we are going to lay that power cord up in here. And this is going to also be another prime example of why I do Mills plates. As I tell everybody, I love Mills plates, and one of the biggest reasons I love Mills plates is because when you build a very large build like this, it makes it extremely strong. I'm about to scoot this entire build over to my other table. Let me make sure I have space for it. And we are good. So you guys can actually watch what I do and how I do it. It's really quite simple, and you're probably not going to hear me for a minute while I'm transporting this, but all I got to do now is I take this table, or take this build, and I just slide it over to me, put my hand in the middle of it, pick her up, and as you can see, that building is safely out of my way. Now that we've got that out of the way, let me readjust the cameras again, just 1 second. Because this is what we want to focus on. And by the way, hey Lego Joe, I'm sorry, I just finally realized who they were saying, who said they were late. Anyway, well, let's get that, because this is the brick loot set that I'm going to be putting in every one of the floors, just to show you, because it's a very cool set. The set's called Apartment Life from Brick Loot, and they actually sent me 20 of these that I could use throughout this particular skyscraper. So I'm going to be furnishing the entire skyscraper with that particular set there. And this is one of those sets that's actually already built. I'm trying to get the microphone in a better location. Anyway, now that we have that, it doesn't matter which side is on the front, as long as once I do it, it stays in the front. But let me pop this off. Now I'm taking this off, and thank you so much, Kenneth Swan. He says a little something for all the great videos you do. And again, thank you so much, Kenneth. I really appreciate that. Kenneth just donated $5, and that was awesome of you, buddy. Lego Joe, that's awesome, my friend. But anyway, now that I've got that pulled off, just showing you again, that goes in the middle. But what I'm going to want to do, because on this back side, I'm building in my false elevator shaft. And where did I put my parts? Oh, hey, the luckiest loser. Sorry to hear that. Anyway, I know that the and again, I'm sorry to hear that, but at least that means you're paying attention to the radio. I'm going to be building in a false elevator. So what I'm doing is I'm squaring it off to figure out exactly where it's going to be, because that false elevator is going to be hiding through that window. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this forward like this, and because I want to keep with my false elevator, just to show you the sizing. Hey, Bobby Waste. That is going to be the sizing of the cavity. So I'm going to have a 4-stud cavity inside of this, in as far as being able to travel floor to floor. Now here's where I'm going to drill the hole. And I want to show you how I typically do my holes when I drill them in Lego. First of all, let me get a piece that I don't care about. And just to show you, here's a Technic plate. That drill bit goes right through it with slop, so I'm not worried about damaging that. But I want that hole to be right inside of this particular cavity. And here's the awesome thing about this being plastic, is now I can take my drill bit, and this is actually how I drill my holes. I just do it by hand. Now that I have that started, and part of the reason I do it by hand is, number one, plastic is soft, but number two, if you were to do it with an actual drill and you start drilling too fast, what it'll start doing is melting your plastic. And even though it can be kind of a pain in the butt to do it by hand itself, I find that it's better to drill it by hand as opposed to using a drill, because I don't want to melt anything. Because once you melt something, it can warp it, it can cause issues, and then your pieces won't snap back on it quite as well as you'd want them to. David Dunnigan, hey, how you doing? Eccentric Bricks, hello, hello. Oliver M says, I saw you were at the state fair. What did you win? Oh, we're talking to Alex. Brooks Bricks says, awesome, was looking forward to some power tools. Nope, no power tools. Like I said, I just quite simply just do it by hand. And now we have our hole for our elevator shaft. Now the first thing I got to do is I got to check and make sure. Actually, no, I don't, because this can permanently stay in there. That way I know it'll never come out of the building. So I think we're going to leave it that way. But now that I have that in there, what I'm going to do is leave that open. I'm going to go ahead and put the pieces back, just so I know where the false elevator is going to be. And now I'm going to, let me slide, oh, it doesn't matter. Now let me stick that back on here. Got that side. And that side. So now we have back to a full floor. Now I'm not too worried about doing the elevator shaft right now. My biggest concern for the moment is I want to start figuring out where I'm going to do my walls. And let me get this camera a little bit higher, because now I'm going to start doing the separation, so that way I can kind of figure out how the spacing inside of this is going to work. These I actually buy, Lego Joe, I buy them off of Amazon. And I see Brooks Bricks is already showing you. And I will actually, I usually have a link posted in my videos. I don't think I've posted the link in a while, but I will post one after this particular stream. But just to show you, this is how they come. They come in packages of 10. And how this actually works out is these are $11.99 for a 10-pack. So you're only paying $1 for each one of these. But I wanted to show them. But this is how they come, is right like that. But you can get them in, tan, you can get them in light gray, you can get them in green, blue, and a few other colors. And again, that's why I love using those, because we all know that the larger plates are rather expensive, and I would rather have something like that I don't care if I drill through it and damage it for the floors in between, and then just use my official Lego for the outer walls, because again, with it not being official Lego, I just really don't care about it. And it's much more simple for me anyway, for my mind anyway, to cut up something that's not official. But again, I will post a link in that later on. Actually, what I'll do is I'll post it in community tabs. You know what? I will actually see. Let me see if I can find it. Well, I don't want to spend time doing that. I'll do it after the stream though. And thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. I don't know. I mean, I would love to work for Lego. I don't know that they really have any place here in the United States, though, as far as besides people that are at the parks and such. So I don't see them ever hiring me, but it's very awesome of you to say that. Lego's owner says, hey, just got back from the largest country in Minnesota. The largest country? What's the largest country? Because if you're in Minnesota, you're in the United States. I'm assuming it was a country music concert or something. Anyway, though, let me get some of my bricks, because I got all those 2x4 bricks. And that is something else I wanted to show everybody, because a lot of people were kind of asking, why did I buy 2x4 bricks? And just to show you, when you're looking at this, for the plates themselves, the point of separation is right here. And yes, I could have ran plates underneath the bottom side of this to make it stronger, but I just thought, you know what, let me just run a 2x4 brick down there, and that'll still give me my strength. And that was why I went with 2x4 bricks. Plus the fact they weren't that expensive anyway. And hey, Kip, how are you, buddy? But the first thing I want to do is I want to start putting in, because this is how I was originally thinking doing the separation for every floor. So let's start by just putting in a base line for where, so that way I have 4 rooms on every floor. And just for the sake of while I'm doing this, so it's easier, so it's down flat, I'm going to pull that out for now. Now let me get a couple doors. And again, right now I am just trying to get my sizing down. So a lot of things aren't quite as important as they probably should be. at this stage of the game, because I'm just trying to figure out how I can fit everything that I want to fit in here as best as possible. So I'm thinking that's going to be my doors, and I'm thinking now I'm probably going to need to order 2x2s. But again, I am just trying to get my sizing down. Now that I have kind of an idea of how the sizing would be, and I'm not gonna, well, you know what? Well, let's not worry about the elevator shaft right now. So that's kind of how I'm thinking I want to divide the floors. So that way I can have 1, 2, 3 floor rooms, and then this will be the central hallway, if you will, for all the rooms on each floor. So once I get to the lighting portion of it, this will have a light illuminated on every single floor. And then the rooms, it's going to be all bars, all hands off. I'm going to be trying to make it look as realistic as possible, and I'm only going to put lights in certain rooms as I go up to give it that look of realism when the lights are on. But now that I have that, we need to start playing with this set to see how we can try and squeeze as much of this stuff in here as possible. What do you start on the 24th, Alex? Or you must be starting school, maybe? And thank you so much for plugging the stream there, Brooks Bricks. Anyway, I'm thinking if we put that there, and again, I am just trying to kind of figure out the best way to get as much furniture in this room as possible. So I'm thinking if I do that, maybe put a couch there, maybe a chair. No, let's see. Let's take this. Let's spin that over. Let's leave that there. Hey Scott, how you doing, buddy? And I would really like to keep this as original as possible without having to modify the set too much. Was kind of my goal. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get to where, there we go. Trying to get it so you guys can see the camera angle better. I almost feel like this bed needs to be shrunk down just a tad bit. I think that's fine there. It's like I need to have just a touch more space. Let's see, this bed really could probably get shrunk down to a 4x6 maybe. You know what, let's look at that. Let's, because we don't have to build it just like the set is. Let's play with this a little bit. Yeah, I agree. I don't like where the bed's at, but I also think it's too big, and that's why we are going to, and by the way, how you doing, Steve? That's why we're going to alter that just a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. Because like I said, we don't have to build it the way that they're showing it. I think it looks cool the way that they're showing it, but we don't have to do it that way. So let's modify this possibly. Let's set that aside for just a second. So if we put that there, so I could keep the size and bring it down. I don't think I want to do that either though. If I take out 2, I can take 2 rows of these. Let's pull this apart. Because I think that would be really cool. I agree, Aaron. I think it is too big, and that's why we're going to modify it right now. As soon as there we go. Now we got it apart. So like I said, we don't have to build it exactly like they had it. Because they have it 6 wide. To me, the bed is probably fine going 4 wide. At least that's kind of my thought. So let's take that here. I do want to keep it though where I'm only using the parts that come with the set. I'm building something small to go in something big. Does that count, Scott? That's still too wide though, so we got to take that down another notch as far as this part goes. If I can get it. And really the bed, let's start with the base. The bed should be no more than 6 long in my opinion. Right? You guys agree with that? And then let's take, see, how do I want to do this? Because I'm trying to stay within the parts available. I don't want to mix in official Lego with the unofficial Lego parts. So let's do it that way. Put that there. Put that piece there. Put that piece there. And now we can start taking these pieces. I think that'll look better. Actually, we'll just do that. Yeah. Let's go with that. Oop. And I wanted a light. Actually, I'm just going to pull that off and do my own pattern altogether. There we go. Nope, I agree. The bed, I almost wonder if I could go even smaller with the bed and make it look even better. But if I was going to do that, what I would do is I would take the bed and adjust it in the manner and fashion of, and will I have that part? If I was going to adjust it anymore, what I was going to say is what I would do is I would take it to make it like a 2x6. That way I could have like 2 twin beds or something in a room. But I'm not going to do that right this minute. And then they did this. Actually, they had that higher, so let's pull that back off. No, I usually try not to, because that is usually, for me, it's a no-no. Because I don't want my non-official Lego mixed in with my official Lego. That just totally messes stuff up, is how I feel about it. And that gives us that pattern back. So that gives us our little cushion that they did for that particular design. And then they did a little step up. If I can get that off of here. I'll spin up Gozer. The Form of the Destructor. I love that movie. I have not watched that in a while. But I do. I love Ghostbusters. 1, 2. Let's go with that. And then I'm almost thinking, really, to me, with the headboard, I could stay with the 6. I honestly think that would be better. So let's pull that guy down a little bit. Let's doodle-doo. How do I want to do that? let's pull this back off for a minute. We're gonna do some changer upper roonies. I really would like that. Do I have one more brown plate in this set that I could steal? I don't see any more brown plates I can steal. Oh, I know where I can steal it. I gotta pull this back apart. Hey, how you doing, Rhonda? You know, I haven't... Is Afterlife out in theaters? Because I've been dying to see that. And I have not seen it. But I did not think it was out yet either. So if I did that, and we did this, and we did that, and we come over here, and then we go, let's just put some rounds there, and then we'll put the brown back on the bottom, like so. Let's see how that, oops. Let's see how that looks once we get that back together, because then we can put this piece there, then we can put that piece there, then we can take this, we'll put that there, and that's too high, that needs to go back down. I like everything but that portion of it. So let's pull that off. I want that up. Let's see. Because I want that up by 1. I didn't want it up by 2. There we go. That looks better. Now we can take that. And what we can actually do is we can make the back side too tall. There, that gives us more of a headboard bed looking type of thing. So now let's take these and put these back down for feet. So now we have the bed for the room. I still think, and I'm wondering, what would happen? Again, I am trying to tweak this set down to squeeze it into these rooms. I honestly think this would look better if it was built the opposite way that they did it. So let's flip that around and do that way. That way I can snap it down and it gives me a little footing. So we're going to pull that off. Oh, I totally agree. That bed, because that bed was a little bit too huge. Well, it's just like even this cabinet here. I like it, but it is too big. But there's some really cool parts in it. So that's the cool thing about that, is the parts that are in it. So that'll give us the ability to tweak it. But now we can do that because that'll give us a fig, which I could actually even put a footboard on it. Should I put a footboard on this bed? What do you guys think? So if I did a footboard, then it would be 7, but it would look like that. I almost think it might look cooler if it was 7 long, but I typically in hotels, they don't do that, is what I was thinking anyway. And I'm almost always also thinking that this should be green down here, and I think that would look better that way, so we're going to make that quick change of Rooney. Hey, how you doing, Devil Strawberry Slayer 12199? Let's tweak that a little bit more, because we want this to look good. We don't want it to look super cheesy. So let's pull that back off. Let's pull this guy back off. Pull him out of there. So we're going to redo this again one more time. We're going to do it until we get it right. Now if I take 2 of these, put this on the back, go bada boom, bada bing. Hopefully you guys cannot hear my TV. I think that looks better now. Tell me what you guys think. There, now it's green on the end. Now I'm happier about that because I didn't like how it was not green on the end. Now this can come back on, this can go back on, this can go back on. There, I like that better. Now what I'm wondering though is, do I want to have, because those are the nightstands that they had, and let me bring this camera down a little bit better. Thank you so much, Devil Strawberry. Thank you so much, Dylan. Oh, I just realized that is not. And I'm sorry, Greg, I forgot to have that enabled. There we go, now I can see you. You said you couldn't hear me? As I say, the mic is on. I did have it kind of far away though. Let me make sure I'm keeping it closer to my face. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, Aaron, that it might look better with a footboard. At least I think it might look better with a footboard. So I do agree with you on that, my friend. Let's try it. Let's do a sloppy one just so we can get the feel. But typically, now I will say this though, most hotels you stay in do not have a footboard. It's generally just a headboard. Oh, okay. I got it now. I thought you were talking about me. And thank you, Greg. Because that is a concern, because if that was on and invisible, then people get all upset. Right. It's not that people get upset. It's I can get a community strike. It's the entire inside of the building will not be 100% lit. It'll only be rooms that I feel that are occupied. But some of these, as you can see like this, there will be lights in some of these in some of the rooms, because I am going after realism. So with that being said, I'm not lighting up the entire building, because I've never seen a hotel at night where every single room was illuminated. And that's about it, man. It is almost exactly it. Yes. Got to have the footboard that you nail your toes on. You are absolutely right on that, my friend. I'm thinking I like that better. I think the couch would look better over here. And I might need to swap the spacing on that a little bit. Still not sure that I'm liking how this is going in here. I think what I think we need to do, we're good on these, but I'm thinking I need to put them a different direction. Now let's keep in mind, one of the things I'm going to be putting in some of these rooms too, for those of you that haven't seen it, I made my own custom TV where the lights change color and stuff on it, and I do intend on putting that in there. So this is going to be something that's probably going to be swapped out. And I am not worried about it being super detailed. I do want to point that out as well, because again, a lot of this, it's just ambiance, because once this building is sealed up, I don't care. The only thing you'll actually be able to see is once you physically have a light that comes on or something. And I apologize for that little blip. So I just noticed it myself. Hopefully it doesn't look like it dropped. If it did drop, I think Greg would say something to me. I'm actually kind of wondering if I should only put one nightstand in here and then maybe build a dresser or something out of this guy, is what I'm kind of thinking. Because I don't like how tight. So that chair needs to be over like that more if I'm going to put it in there. And then it's like there needs to be something here, is how I'm feeling. And the way this set is designed, there is no 2x6s. Still not super happy with it, but again, I'm trying to tell myself that it doesn't have to be perfect. And I keep telling myself that, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing either. If that makes any sense. What do we have for? It's a 1x6, 1x3, 1x3, and I got these guys. Those are 2x4s, 2x4, 2x4. Got a bunch of stoves. See, what could I do? I want to tweak it a little bit. Not a lot, but I want to tweak it a little. I don't mind this. I'm still not feeling the bed. That's where my problem is. I'm not feeling the bed location. Thank you, Aaron. I'm assuming you're saying you like the idea of the dresser, Rick Sargent? Yeah, that TV actually is going to need to come out of here. I don't know if you guys have seen my TV design. You know what? Actually, let's just pull this out of there. That's how they have it. What if I use that for a dresser instead, but no, that's too big. It's really hard when you're just working with a select amount of pieces. And I gotta cramp the space. There's a lot of things that I would probably change on this, but I want to use their sets because they gave me 20 of them. Maybe if I do that and then put that back in. And let's figure out how we could do something decorative. What if we just rip that off? Like so. And then we take, let's see, we don't need any of those. Don't need that. Don't need those. Don't need that. That gives us some 1x6s. So what if we did this? Get rid of one of these. Put that over there. Then we could put the lamp on that. No, it's still too big. Well, crap. Well, if I take this, let's jump it down. Yes, I did just smash. I'm going to be putting the exact same thing. Whatever I figure out this room to be, it's going to be the exact same thing through the entire hotel. Again, it's a hotel, so it's not like there's usually a lot of variety to hotels. So if I pull that down, put that up, and I don't have any, oh yes I do. I can use this piece. If I pull it off, then we can do the 2x6s. No, I'm not tiling the floor. Well, here's part of the reason. Here's something that a lot of people always crack me up when they ask about tiling floors and stuff like that. This building is 12 stories tall. Just to tile the floors inside of something that'll never be seen, that would cost me roughly $250. And that's why I don't tile the interiors of buildings. Typically, I normally don't do interiors at all, but because now I'm getting into lighting, I really need to add some kind of detail to them. And that's kind of why I was glad that Brick Loot was able to donate these for me, because it was going to save me a ton of money, because just in the pieces that I'm using just to put up the divider walls, I've already spent $320, and it's not money well spent to sit and tile in the entire interior of a building. And I know a lot of people don't get it because they don't build that big, but it is something that I hear all the time, and I don't think people really put a lot of thought into it when they say that. The white section is going to be the actual wall. That's what I was saying earlier, Greg, because this is the divider for the rooms, because I want to have, I've almost even thought about splitting it up and just making it one big room on either side, because then I could fit the set exactly the way it is. But to me, it wouldn't look right, and I think it would look better when I'm putting the lights in it if I have like one room lit here and maybe one lit in the back, and skip a floor and do one in the back over here, and so on and so forth and stuff like that. But I don't know, because I'm the more I'm playing with this and the more I'm ripping it apart as far as this particular set, it's just not going to work in the allotted space that I have, and that's where my problem is. Because even this table's looking too big now. I liked the idea, but yeah, that is like a 75-inch TV. That's now that I'm trying to squeeze this into a room, it's everything's too big. Everything's way too big. Because me, typically, when I do a couch, what I will do is it'll only be like, say, 4 wide, 6 max. A chair will be 2 wide with maybe a stud on either side. And why is that? Hold on, let me silence that. Alert box. That way you guys don't have to keep hearing that alert box. And thanks, Greg, and Matt, by the way. And say I wasn't sure if I totally dropped or not. I don't really like how any of it's looking, to be honest. Man, as far as how it's fitting in here, you know what? Let's do this. Let me set this back aside for a minute. Let's get this little stuff over here, and let's see how we can condense it all, maybe just a touch. Let's rip the TV. Let's rip this whole thing apart. I probably should have just opened a new box, but let's just rip the whole thing apart and see what we can come with in our own mind. And where? I'm only gonna put a light here and there, luckiest loser, so I'm not getting that technical with it, because to me it's not worth the effort. I actually went overboard on the first floor, in my opinion anyway. but I always try to do the down lighting. If I do any lighting as far as rooms itself, I do intend on lighting up some of these lamps that'll be on the nightstands. And I do intend on doing little TVs. But if I'm going to actually light the room, I'm just going to put one light in the center of the room. Is kind of was my method of thinking anyway. That's too big for a table, so we don't want that. I don't mind this for a dresser, but it almost needs to be more condensed. Actually, again, we are going to try and do our own look. So let me start from scratch with that. Let's do a thin dresser, because that would actually make things make a little more sense, I think anyway. And again, I'm trying to use the pieces that they supplied. And that'll give me that. There. See, I would prefer a third one here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'm thinking that would be a better looking dresser. And let me grab a minifig again because I want a size reference. Have I ever broke a brick separator? Yes, I have broke them before. They actually wear out pretty quickly. This one's actually new. I thought I had one handy I could show you. What usually happens, this one's not too bad, but what usually happens, I don't know if you can see that or not, they start wearing out on the ends, and when they start getting, this one's not too bad. When they get too wore out on the ends though, I end up throwing them away and just grabbing a new one out of my drawer because I have a ton of them. Absolutely, luckiest loser. Easy is always better. Mount the TV to the wall. See, that was part of the problem too, Matt, because I have thought that, but if I was to do that, I need to change the design of the building, just as a reminder for you. Because this was that building that I built in the Build Against Charm City Bricks, and I was trying to build this as quickly as possible. And that's what one of the points of us having that competition was to try and show people how long it takes to build a big building. And I was trying to use the simplest methods I could possibly come up with. And that's why I used so many windows. But if I was to do that, I'd have to go buy, because I don't have any more sand green bricks. I basically used them all, just making this the way that it is. If I put the TV on the wall, I would have to put the way I'm thinking in my head anyway. If I put the TV on the wall, it would have to be on the white wall. So that means in my thought anyway, because anytime I've ever been to a hotel room, usually you go in, there's the beds are first, and then you have like your little living room area, whatever. That's how most rooms I've seen are anyway. And you walk past your bathroom, which I'm not even worrying about a bathroom at all. But what I was thinking, if I was going to put the TV on the wall, is I would have to have the bed and stuff facing that way, because usually the foot of your bed is where the TV's at, and for me to do that, it would be right in front of that window, and that's why I wasn't really. I like the idea for space savings, but I don't like the idea for layout. But then again, the thing, and hey, Papa's Bricks. I need to try and get off the fact of trying to use their pieces and just use my own. I think that's where part of the problem is. So let's sit and look at what I have here again. So far, if I was going to do the bed, that'll be kind of the size for the bed. That could be kind of like a dresser. I could do a nightstand on each side, but they need to have jumpers is what the problem is. So I could put, and that's going to make it too square because they don't have any jumper plates in here. Because again, I'm only trying to use this particular set. So if I took this piece, I don't like that either. So if I did it that way, let's do it that way. No, let's not do it that way because you can't see that part. So if I put that back there and then put a lamp there, I still don't know that I like those lamps, but I'm going to leave it that way for now just to try it out. So I'm trying to squeeze as much. So if we did that, that would be 2 lamps. Then there's our dresser. This is too big. Let's see if we can condense this couch down now. Let's take the couch and make this 4 wide. It doesn't need to be as wide as it is. So if I put that in here, we can still do the funny looking ends like so. And we can take that part, I think anyway. That ain't gonna work. Oh, because I gotta lower, this has got to be widened or narrowed. So let me pull this apart. Davey. Ouch. That's one thing I will say about Brickloot's bricks. Man, do they actually snap together well. Let's see how that looks. There. I think that's a better size for a couch. It's actually still too tall, though, in my opinion. Let me try something else. Let me try something that they didn't do at all. Let's totally re-engineer this a little bit. What if, instead of that, because we gotta have 2 of those. And if we did 2 of those, we can, and I don't like that either. I do have 1 jumper in black. I am trying to keep it to where you guys can see what I'm working on. I hope anyway. The problem that I'm seeing with everything is none of this is really built in what I would consider minifig scale. And let's see. Because to me, for a small space, and I hate to go back to my bricks, I'm going to stay with these. I'm going to try and force myself to work with what I have in front of me. It's very difficult. Let's see if I take that plate, because they had an extra plate in there. That makes it narrow now. And then if I take this, that makes it low. And then if we take 1, 2, 3, 4, we got 4 bricks. So if we did the bricks, and then we did, it's like I need another row of bricks with a tile. Or do you think that would be kind of a cool modern looking couch? Yes, that is the tower we're working on, Thomas Davey. Aaron, when you're talking about 50 by 50, are you talking about the 48 by 48 base plates? Because I don't remember them making a 50 by 50. When you say 50 by 50, I'm assuming you're referring to the studs anyway. But I do have a ton of the 48 by 48 if that's what you're referring to. Yeah, it's the problem is that the way that I would want to put the lamps on the dresser, I would have to make the dresser 4 deep, so it would have to be this size. And then again, to put them on the dresser the way that I would want them, I need a jumper plate. And I don't see, I don't have any jumper plates because again, I'm only trying to use the parts that come with this apartment life set. Just showing you guys. This set right here is what I actually use from Brickloot, and I'm trying to use that to do the interior to save me a ton of money, because if I was to try and build everything the way I want to build it, it would cost me a small fortune, and money's been a little tight here lately, so I'm trying to dumb down some of my building styles. You like it, Greg? Bricklock, Illinois says yo, and hey, how you doing, buddy? I just noticed you must be on a different account. But hey, how you doing, buddy? If I'm gonna do that with that though, then that means this has got to be shrunk down somehow. And let's see what we can do for that. So if I did that there, that means I can do this, which would be that. And I need to use my own parts. That's what I need. Let's see if I put that there, put that here, and put this. Actually, that would match that, wouldn't it? Nope, because it's on a different type of piece, so it's not going to line up as well. So that doesn't look good. The couch doesn't work. The couch isn't bad that way, but that doesn't work that way. And the couch, I can actually even dumb it up by doing this, now that I'm looking at it, and that'll give me a higher back. So that makes the couch look better. But we need to figure out how to do this chair better. So let's pull these back off. Let's pull those off. Let's go something totally crazy for the chair. Let's do a soft back, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's put this piece there. Let's put a flat tile here, and then we can put that piece, so that gives us a chair there. We might even be able to get away with 2 chairs here, guys. So again, take that, put this, take this, put that, and then we take a 2x2 somewhere. Hey, Papa's Bricks, thank you so much. Papa's Bricks just donated $4.99. That was awesome of you, my friend. Thank you. Where is... I thought I had one more 2x2. I'm not seeing it. So, what if we do... Do I have a... I have a 1x... There we are. I knew I had another 2x2. So now that would give us 2 small chairs and a couch if I wanted to go that way. Now if I want to do that, word. Kenneth says it took 4 weeks almost to get my last pick-a-brick order. The waiting is no fun. No, it isn't. And I've been noticing, it used to be in the past, anytime you make a pick-a-brick order, it used to be usually right after Christmas is when it was really slow. Here lately, I mean, because it kind of started to speed up in the fall of last year. And this year, it seems like it started to speed up and then it like slowed back down. And here's what I mean by that, because it used to be if I ordered a set off of the Lego website, I would generally have that set within 2 to 3 days. I made an order Monday for 2 different Monkey Kids sets because they are on the demolition thing or the list to be discontinued, and I didn't want to miss out on them. But I ordered them on Monday. Shows there in stock, all that good stuff I paid, blah, blah, blah. Still haven't got them yet. They finally sent me a shipping notification. I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, and they're showing that they're going to be delivered like Wednesday or Thursday next week. So Lego's shipping methods have gotten like wow slow lately. And I really don't understand why, because it's supposed to be coming from their distributors here in the States, but starting to wonder on that a little bit. The Luckiest Loser says, what if you put only one end table next to the bed and put the other one near the couch? I do like that idea. see, here's my thought, and so let's put one there. I want to keep the bed away from the wall. That's like a big thing to me, so that way the minifigs could walk around either side. With this being the living room now, I like that. I think that's going to work well. I'm thinking I can just do this for a simple table, so we'll do that for like a coffee table. And then to give it a little height, I will actually do 2 of those. So let's get 2 of those. So that gives us a table now with the chairs. And then if I put that in here, and then we have the dresser. So if I was going to do that, I would want this to be over here. And that would be when you first walked in the room. So I could put like that. I like that idea. Let's try and squeeze some of this in here and see how it looks, guys. And I'm hoping you can see that fairly well. Trying to make sure it's focused anyway. So let's put the night table here. Then let's put the bed here. Let's put the dresser here. And do I want to snap it down? I don't think I want it. You know what? I'm going to put 1 stud under each side just to give it a touch more height. And then we'll put that, then we'll snap it down. Now let's take the other lamp, like you said. I like that idea a lot. Let's put it up in this front corner. And I'm going to tilt this back to show it to you here in a minute once I do all this. Let's take this piece. And now we need to connect that. So we are going to use, actually we will use that piece, yeah. So that'll give us that. So now we can put, see, I want the TV over here. So actually, I want this table in the opposite corner. Oops. Sorry, guys. Bumped the camera. If I can get that out anyway. There we go. So let's take this and put it over in the other corner. I think that would look better over there. And then we can put the couch down in here. Then we can put 1 chair here. If I can try and not to snap it down tight. Put that there. We'll put, let's make this table just 1 stud taller. Actually, that made it too tall. Let's go back down. I totally agree that bed does look a lot better that way. Definitely agree with you, buddy. But let's put, that's not going to be centered, so that's going to probably look a little goofy. But let's put that there. Put this here. Does that look better to you guys? And then let me find my only question with all this. I'm thinking maybe typically you're only going to have a couch and a chair in a room, but let me show you what I was going to use for my TV. I think I have it handy. My problem is I cleaned the other day, and wait a minute. And that's not it. And now I gotta remember where the heck I put the TV, but for those that you remember anyway, I made a really tiny TV and then I put a LED behind the display, and that is what I was looking at. Because I'm only going to put TVs in a few of the rooms. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to put TVs in all the rooms. But I'm only going to put a working TV, kind of, sort of. It's going to have multicolors flashing anyway. I'm going to put the working TV in only a few of the rooms. But my main thing is how does it look from the outside. And this was something else I was going to show you guys just to add depth, because I'm not going to have all the windows open on every single floor. Let me pull that back out just for a minute. I am actually still waiting on parts, but here is a nice technique. I need for making a room, because you know how a lot of hotels, they're actually, the windows are closed and all that kind of stuff. Here's a really quick way to add a little depth to a room. So I'm going to do this in some of the rooms also, so I'm not even worried about the interiors in every single room. And then where I have the curtains stopped, what I'm going to do is actually, and that's where I said I'm waiting on some more parts. But I'm just trying to give you guys kind of an idea of what I'm after. But this helps to add a lot of different depth. And then it also adds to the color of the windows as well. Yes, the TV was 2 studs deep, Scott. No, the TV, it was 2 studs deep and 3 studs wide. Or 4 studs wide, I'm sorry. And yeah, just trying to give you guys kind of a ballpark idea. So when you're looking at the outside of a building, mind you, I would do this a lot more decoratively. This is just to try and give you guys kind of a taste. But there's going to be certain floors where I will do stuff like this to hide the light coming out, and then I'll just I'll have it look like a curtain that's pulled back in the middle. I'm still waiting on another part order before I can do that. But I'm going to be doing things like that as I go up the building. The hallway will always remain 100% unobstructed, but I am going to be blocking off windows here and there as I go through on each different floor. And then some of them are going to have a lot of furniture in them. Some of them are not going to have any furniture at all. Nita, thank you so much. Goal! Nita just donated $28.98, and that is an SGD. I am not sure what SGD is, but thank you so much, Nita. I really do appreciate it. And I am kind of liking what your thought is too, though, the luckiest loser, on just getting rid of the chairs and keeping the couch. But like, if I'm going to do that, because I just wanted to show you guys some of the other stuff that I intend on doing. Because again, keep in mind, a lot of it is based, keep your thoughts on the aspect, and actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and put this over here. A lot of it, it's just, I'm trying to get a certain look when the lights are on, or the lights are off in my barn, and the lights are on the mock. Let's do it that way. Oh, you're never late, Anita. You're always right on time because you arrive precisely when you wanted to. But let's say we do his. Let's do the couch again. If I can get it to go down, let's do a chair. And let's do a little table. And then let's pretend the TV would be here. So we could build up I just want to give you an idea and a feel of kind of what I'm going for with the looks of this. And it's like Matt is actually doing something really cool right now. He's having people send him art builds, and that's something that I would look cool. So I'm going to do something really quickly. Let me finish building this wall up first. Hey Ned, how you doing, buddy? Let me do this first, and then I'm gonna do a snot brick. Put another row of these in first, just to kind of give you a better feel of how I'm looking for the room, the space of it, so to speak. Now if I did that, I could say, let's put that above there. And mind you, however I do a floor, every room is going to be the same after I decide what I'm doing. So in this situation, I would put back-to-back studs because the dresser would be in the same spot. So let's put that guy there. Let's put him here. Lego Joe, yes, I could put your sig fig in the hotel. I've actually, because the convention center, I think I've got like 5 more spots open in it. And I'm actually thinking that once I get that filled, what I was going to do is start taking everybody's sig fig out of the convention center and start placing them through the city as I get sections completed, because I thought that would be a kind of a really cool touch. Anyway, let me get a 4x6 plate. Let's get some and I am not trying to do anything glorious, so please keep that in mind because this is probably going to be ugly, just saying. Again, I already know this is going to be kind of ugly, but I am just trying to kind of slap something together. Just to give a better idea. And we can say that there's grass or something down here. I don't know. I'm just kind of slapping pieces on here. But anyway, I will try and make something more decorative later. I'm thinking I can do art on the wall. Am I live tomorrow? No, I don't plan to be. C and Railfan says, for the rooms, aren't you going to light? Are you going to put black bricks in front of the windows? No. If I did anything, I'm going to do white bricks just to give it that look that curtains are pulled, is what I was going to do. The Luckiest Loser says, what if you built a 4 wide 2 high dresser and placed it in between the door and the window? You're saying over here? That's not a bad idea. We can do that. I think we have the pieces anyway. 4 high, let's see. Let's go with which I wouldn't want. Well, let's see. Let's just see how it looks. We could do something like that. And then for the TV, I wish I could find the TV I plan on using, but I would put the TV in the corner here. But then that kind of gives you somewhat of an idea. Because like I said, I'm just trying to get some general looks in the inside of it. And there will be, like, this room, say, will be lit. And then I'll have another room done similar to that, and there will be no light in it at all. I'll have another room like that, and it'll be lit with only the lamp in the corner. I might do another light with one in this corner, but no, God, no, Matt, I'm gonna no. Trust me, when I'm ready to send something, it's not gonna look that bad. I want to make sure it's something that looks nice, but I do intend on making some art for you, and that's what I was starting to say as Matt on his channel. Is having people, because everybody knows how I'm doing the convention center. He's doing it something kind of similar, and what he's doing is he's got an art gallery, and it's build your art on a 4x6 plate. And this is a horrible example of me building art on a 4x6 plate. But well, that's what I was trying to, what I started to get at earlier, and I kind of forgot. Luckiest Loser says, I hate wasting space. No, I'm with you. But again, keep in mind, I'm trying to keep it minimalistic as possible. I like that idea, Steve. A room fridge, microwave, coffee pot. The coffee pot, because I got this kind of little thing here. I will have to play with, because I have this. Again, I'm only trying to use what comes in the apartment life set. So that's what's kind of making things minimalistic for me, as far as, and that was something else because I was supposed to put that in this front corner. That's what's kind of keeping things minimalistic for me, is I'm only trying to use the parts that come in this set because I don't want to mix them in with my good stuff. Kenneth says, for the top floors, and it's not stressed at all, Greg, you can just have it 2 really big rooms for luxury suites. And I did think about that, like one room be like a jacuzzi suite, or the top 2 rooms be a jacuzzi suite, and then maybe the room below that, it could be like the kitchenette with a, because I have seen, there's a hotel by me, it's in Greenfield. It's near Greenfield Village anyway, but it's been years since I've done this. But me and the wife had got a room there many years ago. It's a beautiful hotel. But in that particular hotel, you walked in and you had a wet bar and like a little living room, and then you had a bathroom, and then you walked through that, and then you had a bedroom. But it was really cool how those were laid out. But that could be something like maybe for like the top 1 or 2 floors. So I definitely like that. The fridge can only be whatever colors I have enough of. That's the big thing. But yes, I do agree with you. A black fridge would look best. That would actually make a good looking fridge. If, trying to think, didn't I have... Do I have the right pieces to do what I'm thinking? Because if I did... That's what sucks about being limited on the parts that I'm trying to use here. I need more snot bricks is what my problem is. I don't really... How I would like to build a fridge anyway, I don't see where I have the pieces. But that is the perfect size for a fridge if you did a snot brick. You do a snot brick and then 2 regular bricks below it. That gives you that allure of a fridge. And then you could put a jumper on top. Then you could put your little coffee machine on top of that. You know what I mean? You could even do a small microwave. But again, I'm only trying to use these parts. But yes, a fridge, because most mini fridges and stuff like that in the hotel rooms usually are black. So I agree with you. That would look awesome. Wow, I am way later than I ever thought. And no, I have never heard of one more brick. I will have to look for that. Anyway, though, guys, I just realized how late it is. and I apologize, because if I had known it was this late, I would have stopped a while ago. So in that case, I am going to roll that beautiful bean footage. I did not realize I had been on here for an hour and a half. I told the wife I would not be on here that long. First, I want to do, as always, though, I want to thank everybody that donated to the stream. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I do want to roll that beautiful bean footage. As far as going live tomorrow, no, I will not be going live tomorrow, as I've been trying to make my Sundays my family day, so I don't do anything to do with Lego. But anyway, really quickly, I just want to say real quick thanks to Kenneth Swan, Papa's Bricks, Nita, all for the awesome donations. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Aiden J, for renewing your membership. But anyway, that, my friends, is all for this particular stream. I will try and get a video posted tomorrow sometime during the day if at all possible, but if not, it'll probably be Monday. But anyway, that's all for this video. So as always, thank you for coming to Bevan's Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below, and hopefully we'll see you